19 Nocturne Boulevard.
Nocturne Boulevard? Not far. When you hit Howard, hang a right. Howard meets Phillip at a weird kind of angle. Then you cross James and Poe. You can't miss Nocturne. It's just past the Automat.
19 Nocturne Boulevard. Your address for suspenseful stories of the speculative, strange, and supernatural. Tonight's story is The Temple, which was adapted from a story by H.P. Lovecraft.
Yes? This is 19 Nocturne Boulevard. Won't you step inside? Did you have any trouble finding it?
What do you mean, what kind of a place is it? Why, it's a U-boat at the bottom of the ocean, and the year is 1917.
Achtung! Captain Lieutenant Heinrich on deck!
Sehr gut. I have been reviewing the log regarding the sinking of the freighter Victory. And I must say that you are most definitely the single, absolute, most efficient U-boat crew in the Atlantic. At ease, at ease.
I myself cannot wait to view the film we took.
Yeah. The camera was off before we sank the lifeboats.
As always, Karl.
Most excellent. Come, Keinze. I have a bottle of some fine schnapps. You must help me celebrate. On 20 August 1917, I, Karl Heinrich, Graf von Altenburg-Ehrenstein, Lieutenant Commander of the Imperial German Navy and in charge of the submarine U-29, deposit this bottle and the record in the Atlantic Ocean at a point to me unknown, but probably about north 20 degrees latitude and west 35 degrees longitude, where my ship lies disabled on the ocean floor. There's nothing like the first step out on deck after a victory, eh?
A victory? Yeah, very amusing.
Kaiser, come!
What could be so... Oh!
He must be from the victory, sir.
Alive?
Don't be foolish, Keinze. We are far too long submerged. He would have had a better chance if he let go and brave the waves. Remove the corpse!
Sir, his fingers are in a death grip.
Fingers break more easily than railings.
Aye, sir.
One more victim of the unjust war of aggression the English Schweinhunds are raging upon the Reich.
Truly, he is our victim. Nothing more.
You do not see the whole picture. Just like a soft-headed Rhinelander. If you are a solid Prussian like myself, was ist los? Go and see.
What is this? What is this? Achtung! What is so very exciting?
Sir, Schmidt took something from the pocket of the dead one.
Schmidt? Would you show this to me?
It is nothing, Lieutenant.
I will judge that. Give it me. There. This is certainly something. I am confiscating it. Now put that over the side.
So?
A bauble. Ivory, I think. Looks like a classical bust, yeah?
Not a senator, though. This one is much too young and handsome.
Possibly a Kaiser?
Or a god.
It is yours if you want it. It might be valuable.
No, I have not the sentimental. What is it?
Mueller, sir. It is Mueller.
Mueller's unconscious.
Bake him. Ah! Get him up here. Stations.
Are you going to talk sense now?
His eyes. His eyes.
Whose eyes? Speak sense.
Enough. Müller, tell me what is wrong.
Ja, mein Kapitän. The body. The eyes were closed,
But when they rolled it over the side, they opened, and they were mocking us.
Superstitious rubbish. Müller, you have seen corpses before now, and...
Sir, but that is not all. You will not believe me.
You are under orders to speak.
I watched as the body hit the water. I saw it sink beneath the waves, and...
And?
It threw its limbs in and swam away.
You filthy lying...
Nein, Lieutenant. Müller, you know this cannot be true, don't you?
But I saw...
Water is deceptive. It is strange, yeah, that the body simply sank. But that is possible due to its waterlogged condition after being held under our railing for hours. Beyond that, it is all a trick of the light.
Truly?
I will hear no more about it, yeah?
But you should keep no part of them on the ship. It is bad luck. The statue
is nothing. It is a trinket. You go about your duties now, bosun. Superstitious Alsatian swine. Why am I surrounded by inferior?
Kaloi, do you wish that I throw the bust overboard?
Nonsense. We do not give in to fear. We are men of the 20th century. And, more importantly, officers in the Kaiserliche Marine.
I could tell them I threw it.
Do not show weakness. It makes you sound unreliable. The next day, a very troublesome situation was created by the indisposition of some of the crew. Evidently suffering from nervous strain of our long voyage, they had had bad dreams. When weather turned choppy, we descended to a depth where the sea was comparatively calm, despite a somewhat puzzling southward current which we could not identify from our oceanographic charts.
Unter Engineer Robert here to make a report, sir.
Where is Schneider?
He is unwell, sir.
What is wrong?
He did not sleep well, sir.
What?
It is the same with many of the men, Kaloi. They are feverish and say they have had bad dreams.
If they are shirking, I will...
Sir, no. Schneider is burning up with fever, screaming all night in his berth.
Then you did not sleep well either, I suspect?
Nein, Kaloi.
Yet, here you are, like a good sailor, good man.
It is the idol. It is accursed.
What, Müller?
Nothing. I said nothing, sir.
He said...
I heard what he said. Müller, I will have none of this wild peasant superstitions on my ship.
You forget my noble Captain. I am a commoner as well.
Bürgerstock. And they made you an officer. You must have some good qualities.
What does it matter? We are all doomed. Doomed? Because some men are sick?
Sehr gut. We must remain rational at times like these. Retain our iron German will. Keinze?
Ja, mein Captain Leutnant.
Remove Bosun Miller.
Ja, Kaloi.
The moans of the sick men were decidedly annoying, but since they did not appear to demoralize the rest of the crew, we did not resort to extreme measures. It was our plan to remain where we were and intercept the liner Dacia, mentioned in the information from agents in New York.
Und was ist los? Captain Lieutenant, we must request most strenuously that you...
Is this about that knick-knack? What sort of gypsies are you to believe in such phantasms?
But what could it hurt, sir? It is surely not so valuable that it is worth risking...
What? Risking what? The only thing we are risking here is our mission.
We will all die.
Morale, mein Captain. It is such a small thing, yet would mean so much to the men.
I see no men here. Everyone seemed inclined to be silent now, as though holding a secret fear. Many were ill, but none made a disturbance. Lieutenant Keinze chafed under the strain and was annoyed by the merest trifle, such as the growing intensity of that southward current, which was not on our charts.
That makes 7 of us. We can surely... Müller is still in irons. He can be no help.
I saw them.
Shh! None of the crazy talk, Boheen. We cannot let ourselves.
But they call to me. Their voices are like the waves, but waves that make words.
So there are 6 of us.
What is going on here?
We are planning a party. What does it look like?
What is happening that makes everyone so
In the water, they are here.
crazy?
He was in a detestably childish state, and babbled of some illusion of dead bodies drifting past portholes, bodies which he recognized, in spite of bloating, as having seen dying during some of our victorious German exploits. And he said that the young man we had found and tossed overboard was their leader. This was very gruesome and abnormal.
Simon Boheme tried to leap off the deck. We had to hold him down until the madness left him, sir.
All for such a small thing.
That is what this is all about.
Just that.
Sir, Lieutenant Keinze. Boheen is gone. He is nowhere on the ship.
It at length became apparent that we had missed the Dacia altogether. Such failures are not uncommon, and we were more pleased than disappointed since our return to Wilhelmshaven was now in order.
This soft-headedness is not good. Morale is a result of willpower, not coddling.
Still, I too will be glad when this trip is over. That southern current we have blundered into bothers me.
It explains how we missed our target. Not every inch of the ocean is charted properly.
But it is so strong to be overlooked.
Sir?
Schneider is still not feeling well?
He prefers to remain in the engine room, sir. He does not like being near portholes.
Portholes?
His dreams haunt him. But he is not impaired in his job.
Well, certainly you did not come all this way to tell us Oberingenieur Schneider does not like portholes. Out with it.
Something fantastic has happened. The boat is surrounded by dolphins.
Dolphins?
Yeah, come and look.
How many?
They are everywhere.
Finally, something the superstitious can interpret as a good sign, yeah?
Just as we decide to return to Schlicktown. This should truly mollify them.
How fortunate.
At noon on 28 June, we turned northeastward, and despite some rather comical entanglements with the unusual masses of dolphins, we were soon underway.
What? Report! Someone report!
This is your fault, you swine. You made it.
Shut up! Is there anyone who can talk sense?
They have the fire out. The explosion was in the engine room. They have found no causes yet. The damage is extensive. All systems have not yet been tested, but it is certain we have no steering.
No. What about the air compressors?
They appear undamaged. But, mein Freund,
Ja, what is it?
Schneider and Raber, they were killed instantly.
That is most unfortunate.
Our situation had suddenly become very grave indeed, for though the chemical air regenerators were intact, and we could use the devices for raising and submerging the ship and opening the hatches as long as compressed air and storage batteries might hold out, we were powerless to propel or guide the submarine.
What is it you think you are doing?
He demands it. He will not let me sleep until it is returned to him.
What's this?
A mutiny, Kelloy.
Can we do without Schmidt, short as we are of hands?
With no engines to maintain, I must always find make work for the men. They will go mad. They are restless if left sitting on their hands.
German lives are precious, but the constant raving of Schmidt concerning a terrible curse was most subversive of discipline, so drastic steps were taken. The crew accepted the event in a sullen fashion.
ship! A ship! We are delivered!
Excellent. You see, Keinze? It is never so dark that there is no light. Come along.
Give me the glasses.
But it is a ship, Lieutenant. Isn't that enough?
Glasses now!
Was ist?
Yankees.
But surely surrender is better than death.
Simmer.
Ja, Captain Lieutenant.
Prepare to dive.
We did not descend far. After several hours, we decided to return to the surface. However, the ship failed to respond to our direction, in spite of all that the mechanics could do. Some of the men began to mutter again, but the sight of an automatic pistol calmed them.
Kaloy, the men are very restless. They fear the worst, being trapped and drifting. They blame us for making a bad decision.
It was the only decision to make. None but a weakling would surrender to the Yankees.
Any man may turn weak in such conditions.
No Prussian. And if I must be the backbone so my crew can stand straight as men, so be it.
The men are restless, angry.
If they will not stand, then I will put them down and stamp their bodies into pulp fit only to paint the walls.
It was about 5 a.m. that a general mutiny broke loose. The 6 remaining pigs of seamen, suspecting that we were lost, suddenly burst into a mad fury, roared like the animals they were, and broke instruments and furniture indiscriminately. Lieutenant Keinze seemed paralyzed and inefficient, as one might expect of a soft, womanish Rhinelander.
Get up.
Did you... Was that necessary?
You saw them. Now stand. We need to clean house.
What do you plan to do?
What else? Put them out. We can't keep them here or stink up the place.
We can use the top hatch.
Yeah. Make sure they're all dead, will you?
This will be easier with 2.
So would killing them, but I had to handle that. This is your part. Let me know when you need help getting them up into the hatch.
Our compasses, depth gauges, and other delicate instruments were ruined by the rampage of those swine. Henceforth, our only reckoning would be guesswork, based on our watches, the calendar, and our apparent rate of drift.
Look at this.
Yeah, more dolphins. Very exciting.
No, this one here. See the one with the scar?
Yeah.
How deep are we, did we determine?
Too deep for dolphins, certainly, but...
I have been watching this one in the searchlight for 2 hours now, and he has not left our side. Delphinus delphis is a cetacean mammal, unable to subsist without air.
Perhaps they are magic dolphins. I'm not interested in them until we run out of other rations.
It is a very important discovery. Perhaps a new subspecies.
I'm sure the dolphins will be fascinated when you present your paper to them.
With the passage of time, Keinze and I decided that we were still drifting south, meanwhile sinking deeper and deeper. I could not help observing, however, the inferior scientific knowledge of my companion. His mind was not Prussian, but given to imaginings of no value.
Fabulous, isn't it?
Sunken ships? Interesting, yes, but fabulous? What else are you likely to find on the ocean floor?
No, look there, to the right. You see, that peak, it is...
A rock.
No, it is too regular for a rock. You will see when we get closer.
Wake me when you can see it then. I think I will have some sleep.
You don't care?
Yeah. Do you wish me to remain?
We have lost our escort.
Was?
Your beloved dolphins. They finally abandoned us.
I'm more surprised that they remained with us for so long.
What are we to do?
Do? About the dolphins? I'm sure they can take care of themselves.
You know what I mean. What are we to do when we run out of everything?
That is days, perhaps weeks away. Why waste angst?
But there is no hope. We must die.
Everyone must die.
We could try and get to the surface. One of us in the diving suit.
And how deep did we decide we were?
Very deep.
If you want to take the suit and try to get to the surface, you are welcome. But you know what will happen.
It is possible to survive Caisson's disease, even drastic decompression.
As a cripple? With joints that never work without pain? With skin so damaged no one can look you in the face? Perhaps paralyzed even? Incontinent? Better to die as a man than live as a beast. Of course, you might be lucky and have an embolism on the way up, and then ride the waves as a corpse.
My mind was tired, but I am always a German, and was quick to notice that the U-29 was standing the deep-sea pressure splendidly. Our southward speed, as gauged by the ocean floor, was about as I had estimated from the organisms passed at higher levels.
Yeah, plenty of air and food, but this won't last forever.
Not at the rate you're abusing it.
I cannot lose myself in study as you do. What is the point? So you know so much more before you die.
It is not impossible. We will encounter another U-boat.
Wake up, Karl. This boat, it is our tomb. We are dead men. All we have left to do is lie down.
Go to bed, Leutnant. There is no point in talking when you are a total blow.
You are going to give me orders yet? What if I disobey? You clap me in irons? You will shoot me?
I will remind you, you are a man, a trained soldier, and an officer of the Kaiser's Navy, and as such you should have the will to face death.
I am a soldier, yeah. I can face death in battle. It is this lingering, drifting fate that horrifies me. It is like having a fatal disease. You know you must die, but you cannot know when.
Very well then. More air for me.
The fact of our coming death affected Keinze curiously. I was very sorry for him, for I disliked to see a German suffer. But he was not a good man to die with. For myself, I was proud, knowing how the fatherland would revere my memory.
He's calling. He is calling. I hear him.
What is wrong?
We must go. He will not call forever.
Calm down. Remember yourself, man.
Was? Can I?
There you are. You were having a nightmare. Now you are better.
No.
Was?
It was not a dream. It was a voice. I still hear it, you see? I still hear him. He calls to me, to us. I don't know why you cannot hear him.
You are still drunk or deluded.
I am not, truly. If you do not believe me, look outside and you will see his face. It is right in front of us.
Was? Show me. Ah, blackness. Precisely what is between your ears.
The searchlight. Come on, see. There. There.
My God.
I am not given to emotion of any kind, but my amazement was very great indeed when I saw what lay revealed in that electrical glow. And yet, as one reared in the best culture of Prussia, I should not have been amazed, for geology and tradition alike tell us of great transpositions in oceanic and continental areas. What I saw was an extended and elaborate array of ruined edifices, all in various stages of preservation.
Atlantis! And we Germans have discovered it. This is stupendous.
He is out there. His temple lies still before us, and he watches us from afar.
You saw this in your dreams?
He told me he should go.
Go? Where?
To him. Come now. Do not wait until later. It is better to repent and be forgiven than to defy and be condemned.
You think we should go outside? We have only one diving apparatus.
A suit. We need no suits. He will gather us to him.
You have finally crossed into madness. I will find you some medication.
You cannot cure this with your science, Karl. You are so sensible, and what does it get you? Nothing. Nothing. Come now, or there will be nothing left for you.
You are mad.
If I am mad, it is a blessing. May the gods pity the man who in his carelessness can remain sane to the hideous end. Come and be mad whilst he still calls with mercy.
As he spoke, he took his ivory image from the table, pocketed it, and seized my arm in an effort to drag me up the companionway to the deck. When that did not work, he fled. In a moment I heard the grind of the first hatch, and understood that he meant to open them both, exposing the U-29 to the water outside. A vagary of suicidal and homicidal mania for which I was scarcely prepared.
One more move, and I shoot.
Shoot! I have nothing to fear. He will welcome me.
Did I say I would kill you? I will shoot you in the leg and clap you in irons.
You would do that?
Yeah. But I'm not one to hold a man back. If you wish to go, go. I will even run the hatches for you.
Why?
Further, I will watch and make sure to find you once you are adrift.
But you will not come with me?
Nein, I have things yet to accomplish.
Very well. But he will not be pleased with you if you ignore his summons.
After I saw Keinze was no longer in the boat, I threw the searchlight around the water. I wished to ascertain whether the water pressure would flatten him as it would theoretically do, or whether the body would be unaffected like those extraordinary dolphins. I did not, however, succeed in finding my late companion, for owing to the abruptness of the change of angle, wire was disconnected, which necessitated a delay of many minutes for repairs. Alone. To survive until I die. Very well.
One more victim of the unjust war of aggression the English schweinhunds are waging upon the Reich.
I must be careful now how I record my awakening today, for I am unstrung, and much hallucination is necessarily mixed with the fact. Psychologically, my case is most interesting, and I regret that it could not be observed scientifically by a competent German authority.
You are a solid Prussian like myself?
Upon opening my eyes, my first sensation was an overmastering desire to visit the rock temple that stood before the now stationary U-29.
No, I have not
A desire which grew every instant, yet which I automatically sought to resist. Huh? What is it? Light? Where is this coming from?
Do not show weakness.
Could it
makes
be?
you sound unreliable.
Yeah? Another ship? Port side, port side. Aha.
Superstitious rubbish.
It is a light. It is well that the reader accept nothing which follows as objective truth. For the events are necessarily the subjective and unreal creations of my overtaxed mind.
More trickles of light.
When I attained the conning tower, I found the sea in general far less luminous than I had expected. But the door and windows of the undersea temple, hewn from the rocky hill, were vividly aglow with flickering radiance, as from a mighty altar flame far within.
What sort of gypsies are you who believe in such phantoms?
The light showed that the friezes, which covered the front of the temple, clearly carved from the solid rock of the cliffside, depicted many repetitions of but one face. The same face as the ivory bust which Keinze had carried back to the sea with him.
I will have none of this wild peasant superstitions on my ship.
The rest is very simple. My impulse to visit and enter the temple has now become an inexplicable and imperious command, which ultimately cannot be denied.
Do not show weakness. It makes you sound unreliable.
My own German will no longer controls my acts, and volition is henceforth possible only in minor
This
matters.
soft-headedness is not good. Morale is a result of willpower, not coddling.
When first I saw that I must go,
That is most unfortunate.
I prepared my diving suit, helmet, and air regenerator for instant donning.
Of course, you might be lucky and have an embolism on the way up, and then ride the waves as a corpse.
And immediately commenced to write this hurried chronicle in the hope that it may someday reach the world.
Why waste angst?
I shall seal the manuscript in a bottle and entrust it to the sea as I leave the U-29 forever.
This is your part.
I have no fear, not even from the prophecy of the madman
Better
Keinze.
to die as a man than live as a beast.
What I have seen cannot be true. And I know that this madness of my own will at most lead only to suffocation when my air is
I will
gone.
remind you, you are a man, a trained soldier, and an officer of the Kaiser's Navy, and as such, you should have the will to face death.
The light at the temple is a sheer delusion, and I shall die calmly like a German in the black and forgotten depths.
Ah, blackness, precisely what is between your ears.
This demonic laughter which I hear as I write comes only from my own weakening brain.
You have finally crossed into madness. I will find you some medication.
So, I will carefully don my suit and walk boldly up the steps into the primal shrine, that silent secret of unfathomed waters and uncounted years.
I want to hold a man back. If you wish to go, go.
Now that you know how to find us, don't be a stranger. We have enough of those already. Tonight's episode, The Temple, was adapted by Julie Hoverson from a short story of the same name by H.P. Lovecraft. In this episode, Captain Lieutenant Heinrich was played by Rick Lewis, Lieutenant Keinze was played by Julie Hoverson, and the rest of the crew was ably portrayed by Shawn Connor and Bryan Hendricksen. Additional Walla was provided by the cast of Pickens Rock. Also heard, Cole Hornaday, Renaud LeBeouf. All music in this show was courtesy of Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com. Sound effects were found on Soundsnap.com and Sonomic.com. Sound and mastering was done by Julie Hoverson. This was recorded at Neohoodoo Studios with the assistance of Ryan Hirst. Please note, all discrepancies between U-boats as portrayed in the story and as portrayed in reality are pretty much the fault of Lovecraft. I stuck with what he wrote, regardless of whether it was historically accurate, and I apologize for that. And my thanks to Scott Glancy, president of Pagan Publishing, for his willingness to point out these discrepancies, regardless of whether I used his advice or not. Thank you! All persons, places, and events in this story are fictitious or used in a fictitious manner and are not meant to reflect any persons, places, or things, living, dead, or undead. Questions? Comments? We would love to hear from you at 19nocturne@live.com, that's 19nocturne, or check out our website at 19nocturneboulevard.com or .net. This presentation is copyright 2009 to Julie Hoverson and Reality Productions.